How do we reconnect to Hashem in a healthy way? How do we reconnect to God? If God is everything, someone says to you, by the way, well, who created God? You just say to them, oh, sorry, you clearly don't understand the definition of God. God is infinite. Infinite doesn't need to be created. That's it. That's the end of the discussion. Only finite things need to be created. The universe had a starting point and it's expanding, which means it's not infinite. It's finite. It needs to be created. God doesn't have a starting point, not expanding. God is everything. Never was created. That's part of the definition of God. God is everything. Where are you? What are we? Is the universe outside of God? Can't be outside of God because that means that God's not infinite. You can't have something separate from infinite. So it means the universe is a part, it's a manifestation, it's an expression of God. But what sort of expression? Where? How does that work? So this is what our sages teach us. Imagine a blue sheep in your head and it's got 3 legs and it's wearing a hat. What color is the hat? Tan, nice. Does that sheep exist? Well, it has to exist, otherwise you couldn't describe it. You can't describe something that doesn't exist, but where does it exist? In your mind. It exists in your mind, but it exists. If you stop thinking about it, does it still exist? Doesn't exist. It did exist. As long as you're thinking about it, that sheep exists and you can define it. It's a low level of existence because it's completely dependent on you. Our sages for thousands of years have been teaching us that we are a finite projection of God's infinite consciousness. We are basically sheep in God's mind. God is ultimate divine consciousness, and we are a projection of that consciousness. So we're not separate from God. You can't be separate from God. In fact, we're a manifestation of godliness. We are divine radiant beings of consciousness. By the way, I don't like the word God, because God is like angry man in the sky. And this whole Jordan Peterson hell, sacrifice, or anger, is such a painful, wrong, unhealthy message to give to people. Any spiritual growth, any personal growth that comes from a place of pressure and guilt and fear and anger is not healthy. Even if you do the right things. Okay, I'll do the right things and I'll say the right, you're not a healthy human being. It's just a wrong, it's a very sad message. The real message is, this infinite divine consciousness did something to us, his sheep, that you can't do to your sheep. What is it? You have your sheep in your head, your blue sheep with 3 legs and a hat. It does everything you tell it. It's completely controlled by you. It's a piece of you. God did something to his sheep, us, that we can't do to our sheep. What's that? Gave us consciousness, gave us free will. Amazing. Gave us the ability to go against it. The sheep in your head can never do anything you don't want it to do. In fact, it can only do what you want it to do because you're making it do everything it does. It's only expressing yourself. What divine conscious reality did was gave you a sense of self, separate, and a sense of free will. Why? So that you can choose to remember who you are. You can choose to have consciousness that I'm a piece of the divine consciousness. It's an amazing idea. You can choose to wake up and realize, you know what? I'm not a sheep. I'm a lion.